Good day, class! Our lesson for today is all about assumptions and nature of arts, creativity, imagination, and expression. So let us have our learning objectives. By the end of the lesson, 85% of the students should be able to define assumptions and nature of arts, demonstrate the ability to discuss examples of Filipino artworks in relation to the assumptions of art, and develop an appreciation for diverse cultural expressions through engagement with Filipino artworks. We will proceed to art is universal. So, why is it art is universal? In every country of the world, art exists because it is important to people's lives, of course. And then it is the oldest and most important means of expression developed by man in any culture. In fact, man learned to draw before he could even start to talk, as evidenced by some early paintings in caves and trunks of trees shown in prehistoric times. Art has been created by all people of the world at all times. It has lived because it is liked and enjoyed. The elements and form of arts apply to all arts everywhere. So when we say art is universal, because art can be seen anywhere we go, everywhere we go. Now let us have the example or proof why art is universal. Music. So music is universally embraced across cultures, often intertwined with rituals, celebrations, and oral traditions, serving as a vibrant thread that connects societies worldwide. So we all know that music is a form of an art that we can hear everywhere we go, right? Let's move on to art is not nature. Art is not nature. Why? Because it is man-made. So art is man's interpretation of what he perceives as art. Nature, such as the mountains, the volcano, lakes, rivers, land terrain, are made by God and not by a man. Thus, art and not nature is made by man by all times. Again, take note, class, that art is not nature because it is man-made. And just like us humans, we are God-made, right? Now, let us have the art is cultural. Art is cultural. Art contributes to the understanding of past and present cultures. Through art, people learn about their culture's values and strengthen their culture's identity. Through art, the people feel proud of their costumes, traditions, and beliefs because they give a sense of belonging. The artist's works such as painting, sculpture, music, dances, ceramics, prints, and other are records of their society's culture. They create within a person's sensitivities toward their community, their country, and the world around them. For example, just like Fiesta in the Philippines that showcases a blend of art and culture through vibrant celebrations, traditional dances, colorful costumes, and intricate decorations reflecting the creativity and rich heritage of the Filipino people. So, in Fiesta, we are not just having kaon-kaon lang. So, we also have celebration or dances that dancers wears some costumes, props, and we are so creative. That's why Philippines are one of we have a lot of visitors, dayuhans, because of our culture. Now let us have art is a form of creativity. Okay. Why is it art is a form of creativity? Art is a creation of the imagination that entertains, pleases and inspires people. Artists use their creativity to depict anything they envision or observe. Through various shapes, lines, and colors, artists express their personal feelings and moods, giving their artworks specific meanings and emotions. The choice of color reflects the artist's beauty and emotion in the moment. Overall, art is a product of human creativity and imagination, not mere imitation. Again, what is the purpose of why we applied creativity in creation of art? Because we want to entertain and please us, and we want to express our thoughts. And when we say art, it is all about uniqueness. Even mukapin mo sa laing artist, there is still minimal differences in strokes, in colors. Okay. Now let's have art involves experience. Art involves experience. When something is done well, it feels good. Whether it's finishing a task, solving a problem, or having a satisfying conversation, it's an experience. Completion and success mark the end of these experiences. Artists often express their feelings through their work, drawing on their own experiences. Some focus on societal issues, using expressionism to convey intense emotions and reflect on cultural problems that they've encountered. One of the examples is this one. So, this involved experience in the Philippines is the creation of protest art in response to social issues, such as the Lonita Rally, where artists express dissent through various forms like graffiti, as you can see in the photo, and performances and installation, providing a platform for people to engage with and reflect on pressing issues like human rights violations or political corruptions. Now, let us have art as an expression of the mind. Robin George Collingwood in his work The Principles of Art 1938 highlights the concept of expression as a means for artists to explore and create beauty from their emotions. He distinguishes expressions from mere description, stating that explicitly stating an emotion like I am angry is not true expression but rather classification. Expression individualizes emotions, allowing artists to freely convey their inner selves without adhering to specific techniques. Therefore, art reflects the artist's inner world rather than external influences. So before we create an art, we use our mind to create a certain art to express our emotions. Like for example, this one, a visual art. So in the Philippines, artists often use their craft to address societal issues like poverty, for example, through visual art. So this is an visual art. So they depict the struggles and challenges faced by impoverished communities, shedding light on the realities of economic disparity and advocating for social change. So another example is stop cutting trees that can be seen in mga kakahuyan, right? Okay. There are countless ways of expressing oneself through art. The following list includes, but is not limited to, popular art expressions. First, we had visual art. Visual art. So, this is one of the form of expression. So, visual arts, as described by Collins and Riley, 1931, encompass creations that appeal to sight. Take note, it encompasses creations that appeal to sight, focusing mainly on visual elements. Artists are driven by their desire to reproduce what they see and perceive. While other artistic disciplines like performance arts and theater involves a visual aspect will primarily explore visual arts due to its widespread exposure. Are the examples of visual art. This category includes diverse mediums such as paintings, drawings, sculptures, digital imaging, and more. So some artists use visual arts to convey their emotion or express their emotion. Like for example, the artist experience depression, so he or she paint an art about depression. So unsa may kasagaran niyang i-paint niya sa iyang paintings nga syempre it talks about depression. Then unsa kay mga colors so of course ang mga color ana mostly dark. Now let's have filmmaking. Filmmaking is the art of creating moving images using techniques like cameras, animation, and CGI. It's both an art form and industry valued for its aesthetics and cultural impact. Films aims to evoke emotions and ideas, often simulating experiences beyond imagination. Elements like lighting, music, and direction are crucial in filmmaking, recognized in categories of prestigious film festivals and awards like Oscars. Overall, filmmaking combines various techniques to deliver ideas, feelings, and beauty to its audience. So when we make and filmmaking, we are not just having video lang. So, of course, it includes angle, lighting, stories, and many more. So, filmmaking is an art form also to express. Some of directors or mga scriptwriters, they create and film to express ideas, of course. Now, let's have performance art. Performance art is live art where the artist uses their body and sometimes other art forms like visual art or a sound. It has four main parts: time, place, the performer's body, and the connection between the audience and the performer. Since it is a live performance, art can be bought or sold like the other types. So when we perform performance art, it includes our body movements when we act, when we show our emotions to our audience. Now let us have poetry performance. Poetry is an art where emotions are expressed through carefully chosen words, aiming to evoke various feelings like joy, anger, love, and sorrow. These words go beyond their literal meaning, utilizing their emotional, musical, and spatial qualities to narrate, emphasize, or persuade. Additionally, the delivers movement, tone, volume, and intensity further enhance the poem's artistic value. Some poets even draw inspiration from other forms of art, creating new artistic expressions through their poetry. So when you deliver an poetry or spoken poetry, of course, we have to apply tone. Kaya di na siya pwedeng plain ra, syempre with feelings. And we want also to express, like for example, the poem or the poetry is all about love. So the feelings or sounds that we use, of course, it sounds like happy, expressing that we love that person's. Okay, now let us have architecture. In simple terms, while art focuses on creating beauty, architecture involves making beautiful buildings. However, not all buildings achieve this. Some prioritize function over aesthetics, lacking the balance of lines, colors, and shapes. For instance, the Grand Theatre de Bordeaux exemplifies architectural excellence with its striking design elements. To be considered architecture, buildings must harmonize plan, construction, and design as emphasized by Collins and Riley in 1931. So when architect or when making a buildings, we are not just focusing on aesthetic value, of course, the function as well. Okay, for example, your buildings very nice kayo tanawon, but ang iyang pagkagama is not well planned, dali siya maguba, like mahimo siyang useless. Okay, asa man ang iyang pagka nice if dili day siya ligon. So that is architecture. Dance. Dance is a series of movements that follows the rhythm of the music accompaniment. It has been an age-old debate whether dance can really be considered an art form. But here we primarily describe dance as a form of expression. Dancing is a creative form that allows people to freely express themselves. It has no rules. Again, it has no rules. You may say that the choreography does not allow this, but in art expression, dancers are not confined to set steps and rules, but are free to create and invent their own movements as long as they dream the graceful and beautiful. I would say, like performance art, dancing is expressing yourself using body movements. So, for example, mag-TikTok mo with your friends, then sa may inyong mga emotions nga ipakita or actions, di ba? Happy ang choreography. Okay? Siyempre, nag-enjoy mo. Let us have literary art. Artists who practice literary arts use words, not paint. Again, literary art used words, or that they are not using musical instruments to express emotions and communicate with readers. They use words to communicate with readers. However, merely writing does not make one a literary artist. Literary art transcends typical forms of writing like professional or academic styles. It focuses on unique expression rather than conforming to a specific format, encompassing fiction and non-fiction works like novels, biographies, and poems. Famous examples include The Little Prince by Anton de Saint-Exupéry and Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. So another example of that is the story of Nolimi Tangere by Dr. Jose Rizal. It is not just a typical love story of Maria Clara and Ibarra. It is also tackled some societal issues back then. Like for example, colonialism. Okay, Dr. Jose Rizal his expression through written to address his readers. Now for theater. Theater brings live performers together to tell stories or create imaginary worlds in front of an audience. Unlike literature, theater relies on scripts but also includes acting, gestures, lighting, sound effects, music, scenery, and props. These elements work together to create powerful experiences for the audience. With the script being just one part, like performance art, theater involves audience participation and it spans genres like drama, musicals, tragedy, comedy, and improvisation. So theater is same like performance art where it is a live performance. Then, in theater, very creative as well. And it includes acting. Kasi may muda sa acting. Of course, mga characters. Nasa yung mga na-assign sa lighting, then mga sound effect, and many more. So, so sa theater, dili lang sila nag-perform Okay? To not just to entertain, but to express something, it depends sa ilahang theme. Okay, now for the last one, applied arts. Applied arts involve adding style and design to everyday items to make them more visually appealing. Artists in this field focus on making useful things beautiful, comfortable, and charming. It includes industrial designs, interior design, fashion design, and graphic design. Unlike fine arts, which prioritize aesthetic value, applied arts emphasize functionality. Again, applied arts emphasize functionality alongside style. So artists achieve this by exploring ideas, considering needs, and carefully choosing materials and techniques. One of the example is fashion. So fashion has a function. Okay, fashion, ato mo na siyang magamit for our OOTDs. And another example is giveaways. Di na siya basta-basta lang burloloy, pero napo siya gamit. When we wear, it may help us to look expensive. Then another example, interior design like chairs in our house. 'Di ba? Ang chairs is not just design lang, but pwede rin siya lingkuran siya sa mga visitors nato. Okay.